So, welcome again to a reading through of Iliad book 16, and we're up to line 712. So, in the earlier bit, Patroklos has gone towards the city, and Apollo has driven him back and warned him that it's not his fate to take the city of Troy to fall at his hands, nor at the hands of Achilles. And Patroklos agrees and moves back. Now the camera moves to Hektor. But Hektor held his steeds, his horses, who are mon-onukos, from monos and onux, literally one-clawed, or so here, single-hoofed horses. He held them at the Scaean gates. Didzer, this is a word meaning, it's only here in Homer. It means, from didzo, he was divided, he was in doubt, he was at a loss, and he gets two alternatives, A and A. For he was at a loss either, or we would say whether, he might fight. This is an optative. Elasas, I think, goes with the kata, and elasas from elauno. So having driven again autis down into the turmoil, or homoklesein, or whether he might call to laus, to the host. Aleni is difficult. It's from alo, epsilon iota, and this is the aorist passive infinitive. So alo, to shut in, and this is to be shut in within the wall. So just quickly do that again. So he was in doubt as to whether he might fight, and having driven again into the turmoil, or whether he might call to the host to be shut in the wall, within the wall. And Phoebus Apollo stood beside him as he was thinking or pondering tauta these things, and then the ara then, if you like. Esama, now of course the gods always have to disguise themselves, so he is like to a man who is aidzeo. It's a word meaning lusty or young or vigorous. So, like to a man who is like to a lusty young man and one who is strong. And his name is Asios, who, matros is a nominative. It's means an uncle. So who was the uncle of horse-taming Hektor, the brother of Hecabe, and the son of Dumas, who, we get another iterative here, who used to dwell in Phrygia at the streams of Sangarios. Who used to dwell in Phrygia at the streams of Sangarios. So like to him, Apollo, son of Zeus, addressed him. So this goes with the toe, and the min is the object, I think, of the verb here. So likened to that man, Apollo, son of Zeus, addressed him, that is Hektor. Oh, Hektor, tipti for tipoti, why ever do you cease from battle? Utisecrae. Now we get cascading accents here. The set is enclitic, puts its accent back on tit, which puts its accent back on ude. So this is the indefinite tit. So cray is a noun at this point, and you've got to supply the verb to be. For there is no need for you, understand, to do this tit in any way. Either would that, and it takes an optative, and we have to go to the end of the sentence. The Greek sort of does it backwards. So would that I might be stronger seu for su, comparative, than you. Then we get the hoson toson, to the extent that I am weaker. So would that I might be as stronger than you to the extent that I am weaker than you, is what the Greek is saying here. So take the I-thet with the optative here at the end and work backwards. Then, so to, or therefore, or then, soon, is again a difficult line. Aperoeses, this is from apo plus eroio, to withdraw. So then you would withdraw from battle, takes genitive with the apo, you would soon withdraw from battle. Now stuggeros is tricky. The commentators suggest, I think quite rightly, that it has the sense of with grievous results to yourself. In other words, to your regret. So he says, would that I were stronger than you to the extent that I am weaker than you, and then in that case then you would soon withdraw to your regret. Al age, but come, F hepe, this is from F heppo, so drive the strong hoofed horses against, that's the epi here, against Patroklos. And would that, now again we get cascading accents here. The min is enclitic, puts its accent, that's enclitic, puts its accent back in that, which is enclitic, puts its accent back. You get cascading accents here. So this is the indefinite pose. So would that almost somehow, or perchance, you might take him, you might kill him, and Apollo, slightly ironic here because it's Apollo speaking, Apollo might give or would give Eukos a boast toy to you. So slight irony here that it's Apollo in human disguise, and then he says, well, Apollo might give you a boast. Well, it's Apollo actually saying this. Hos apone, and thus speaking, there we get a men, and there's a det down here. So the god again went. Now the arm for ana. What's happening here is the alpha drops out. You get an, which is a dental nasal, and before a labial pi, it turns into a labial nasal, which is mu. So that's what's happening here. This is for ana, turned into a mu, which is a labial nasal before the labial pi. So thus speaking, he, the god, went back, well, it's literally up and down the labour of men, but valiant Hektor, glorious Hektor, gave orders to warlike-minded, I think is what you can do with that, war-minded Kebriones. Peple gemen, this is a infinitive, it's probably a reduplicated aorist infinitive. It's to strike, or to smite, or to drive, it's from pleso, to strike the horses into battle. But Apollo going, he descended into the homilon, into the crowd, into the melee, and he sent forth kakon klonon. Klonos is something like the clamour or the panic or turmoil. So, and it goes with the N, so it's N heke from hiemi. So he drove a terrible confusion or turmoil for the Argives, and he gave kudos, glory, to the Trojans and to Hektor. But Hektor, now Ea here is left alone, it's from Eao, so he left B, He left alone the other Danaans, nor did he slay them. But he, now we get this same line again here, as he was told to do this, and he does it. This is very typical Homer. We had this same line back in 724. So only there, so he drove his strong hoofed horses against Patroklos, but Patroklos rose then from the other side. Altor from Halamai, this is the aorist, it's a funny form, but it's from Halamai to leap. So he leapt to the ground. This is Kamai plus the de ending, and it becomes Kamazde. He leapt to the ground af hippon from the horses. Having Skya, you've got to supply carry here, having a spear in his left hand. Now notice it's his left hand. And in the other hand, Ladzetop, Ladzamai often used in the sense of just he held a stone or a rock, which was Marmaron Horkioenta, so shining and jagged. Often used of mountains and things, but it's a rock which is shining and jagged, which the hand for him covered all around. So which his hand hid, really, or kept hidden. Eresamenos is something like having planted himself firmly, he released it. Nor, Dane, for a long time did he withdraw or stand back from, and photos is a genitive from phos, literally from the man, that is, from Hektor. So not for a long time did he withdraw, did he hold back from the man, you might say from the enemy, from his enemy, nor Haliose did the missile go in vain. This is a verb here to do something in vain. So nor did the missile go in vain, but it struck the Eni Okea, from Eni Ocus, the declension. It's the Aenea, which is the reins, and the Ok is from Echo, the holder of the reins, and hence the charioteer. So, but he struck the charioteer of Hektor, Kebriones, Nothon Huion, the bastard son of very famous Priam. Him, now agreeing with that is Ekonta, as he held the reins, there's the Aenea, alpha's elided, of the horses. Now when you have ballet, he struck him, and it takes an accusative, take double accusative, he struck him in the forehead, medopion. And then with the ox, this is from Oxus, and must be Laius here, or Laas, I think, with the sharp stone. So he struck him in the forehead with the sharp stone. Now the next trigger warning here, the next bit's rather gruesome, and as the commentators point out, it's anatomically impossible what happens here, but it's rather ghastly. Sun Helen, from Sun Hyrio, it's literally took together, so often translated crushed into one. So the stone crushed together both of his eyebrows, literally, nor did the osteon, the bone, hold for him. So nor did the, well, perhaps the skull here, but nor did the bone protect him, hold for him. And this is impossible here. His eyes Peson fell to the ground in the dust in front of his feet. The ghastly, and he, accordingly, oikos plus a dative, like to an charioteer. An charioteer is a diver, one who dives into the sea. So we get a rather ghastly metaphor here. So he, resembling a diver, then, kapese for catapip from catapipto, he fell down from the well-made diphros, this is the chair of the chariot, so the well-made chariot, and the his thumos, his soul, his heart, left his bones. His life left his bones. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, now Patroklos is going to make very sarcastic comments over him. And again, this is very interesting because we get an evocative here. Again, it's Homer coming into the story. We've had that a few times in this book. It's not a very common thing to happen, but it happens a few times in this book. Again, it adds to the sense of importance of this particular book. So, O Patroklos, horseman, you addressed him epikertomio, making a joke of him, laughing over him, vaunting over him. O popoi, O sir, e mal elafros aner, you are such a nimble man, you who so easily kubistar, I should say he is. So, oh popoi, oh, not sir here because it's plural, isn't it? Oh dear, this man was indeed so nimble, since easily he tumbles, perhaps, or he dives, to keep the idea of the diver metaphor above. Since he dives so easily. Ade pu, again we get accents moved here. So, if indeed perchance he might be also upon the fishy sea, so in other words, if he happened to be on the sea, polus an koresein, this is from korenumi, and this is an optative, he would, this man would satisfy, in other words, he would satisfy many, diphone from diffao, to search after, searching after, tephia. The exact meaning of this word is unknown, generally taken to be referring to oysters, but the exact meaning is unknown. So this man, seeking after oysters, would give satisfaction to many. Leaping apothroskon from the ship, aikai dos pemphilos aa, even if it, that is the sea, might be, we have to supply pontos here, even if the sea might be, this is a word only here in Homer, it means rough and stormy, and I'm not quite sure of the etymology of this, it's a very strange word, and it's only here in Homer. Since now so easily he dives, perhaps literally tumbles, we get our word cube, of course, cognate from this, onto the plain. And surely there are also kubisteres, there are also divers among the Trojans. So I'll just do this bit again. So it's something on the last bit here. So verily also there are divers among the Trojans. So there there are such divers among the Trojans. He's being very sarcastic. So just to do this bit again, oh dear, this man is surely very nimble, since so easily he takes a tumble or he dives. And if perchance he happened to be also even on the fishy sea, this man seeking after oysters, if that's what it means, would give satisfaction to many leaping from the ship, even if, understand, the sea were rough and stormy, since now so easily he dives from, well, it's from the chariot, it's literally from the horses, but from the chariot onto the plain. And indeed there are also divers, so there are also divers among the Trojans. And that is the end of this section of Book 16.